Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. From the Popcorn Talk Network, the #1 online broadcast network for movie talk, this is BollyWHAT? The show where we break down all you need to know about Bollywood and its movies.
All right, I see there's some chair action going on right here.
Get our sway.
Hey everyone, what is up? Happy Sunday. It's your host Kanika Lal for Popcorn Talks BollyWHAT. You can follow me on Twitter at Kanika Lal, and today we are getting to some heavy discussion about the new movie Phantom. But before we do, I want to introduce my co-host,
James Lott Jr. You can follow me on Twitter at BlackHopeLA. That's BLAKHOPELA. And follow our new Facebook page, BollyWHAT.
Thank you. Yes, do like that, comment, and, Bollywood it up.
Yes, exactly.
But we do have a very special guest co-host for today. She actually kind of runs her own podcast reviewing Bollywood films. Her name's Kari Lane, so go and introduce who you are and a little bit about your Bollywood podcast.
Yeah. I do a Bollywood movie review show weekly on the station Mira Sangeet, and you can listen to that on your smartphone. Just download the app or online, Mira Sangeet LA. And you can follow me on Twitter at Kari, Karid Lane, and that's Lane. And yeah, I just talk about Bollywood movies all the time, and I also review kind of a random film that I've discovered on Netflix or somewhere else, so you get a little bit of everything.
Ooh, I love it.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Phantom is a film to analyze.
Yeah.
So
It just came out.
It just came out.
It's
Yeah,
timely.
good. We're keeping up with it. We have a very, very short time, so we might be going a little bit fast, guys, so bear with us, but glad you're tuning in. If you are, if you're not, well, you'll tune us in later.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's start out with some news. We'll start with just one item today. It was Raksha Bandhan, Rakhi, yesterday on the 29th. So all of India and, of course, America celebrated it. I did as well, even though my brother's not from, he's far away, but I still wished him. For those of you who don't know, Rakhi is a celebration of brothers and sisters, which it's not really celebrated in America.
No, not
it's
at all.
a nice bond that
We occasionally get like a sibling day, but we don't celebrate. Like it's like a Facebook holiday or something.
it's like a national sibling day, which doesn't count. Yeah,
it doesn't count.
But
There's lots of holidays like that. You're like, wait, it's National what day?
I
Like,
know.
what? When did this
I know.
exist? When did this happen?
But
Exactly.
it's a nice tradition.
Cute.
I think it's
Yeah.
about pretty much the
Aw.
sister blesses the brother blesses us with also his love and luck and success, whatever. Not whatever, but with money. With monies and gifts. It's a nice gesture.
So where's your brother?
Where's
your brother?
Oh, he's in St. Martin in medical school.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's studying it up to be a doctor, so he
Yay.
So you can get you really good gifts later on,
continue
too.
to bless you.
Yes.
Exactly. Some Bollywood celebrities did take to the
Yes, they
holiday,
did.
so we see some photos. We first see Salman Khan, the first photo. He takes a selfie with his sister
Aw.
and
Yeah,
all his
there he is,
family.
yeah.
After
That's
celebrating
cute.
Rocky, he posted
Oh,
that.
Salman.
The next one is Anushka Sharma. She kind of posted like a
Aw.
flashback photo.
Yeah, that's cute.
She said something like, what did she say? She was just like, this is 1989.
Wow.
The brother is thinking, what's up with her craziness?
Look at that smile.
But
That's
I know,
today,
great
adorable.
smile.
and today
It's a great
he's
smile.
still thinking that. So
I'm
they actually
sure.
work on films together, which is cute.
Yeah.
The next one is Bapasha Basu
Oh,
Aw,
yeah.
that's cute.
with her brother.
I
and
love
then-
her.
Oh my god, I love her too.
I do. I love
Yeah.
her. Oh, that's a great picture.
They both have
know.
excellent smiles.
They
so that
do.
You can tell how happy they
I
are.
know.
And I'm trying to see similarities. I can see a similarity between Priyanka Chopra and the next picture.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
The next one is Priyanka.
Aww. It's
He-
very cute.
He was showing off all the Rockies. And then
Yeah.
I think we have one more. We have Akshay Kumar.
Oh, like
and his
That's a
sister.
nice bracelet.
So, I know.
nice.
There's
That's
they're
a little
so
more bling
beautiful.
bling.
Oxley got
Yeah.
some money, so he could pay
They're
for
really
this.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So
Cute.
it's nice to see all the Bollywood celebs celebrating
Yes,
with
I
their
love that.
siblings.
Oh.
It's like we also get to know their inside.
Yeah.
A little bit inside them,
Family,
yeah,
you know?
definitely.
It's
You
kind of
love
like all these guys, even though they're grown-ups, it's like they're little kids again. Like, look what my sister
I know.
got me.
I know.
Oh, and you're like, that's so cute.
Exactly.
I think I'm gonna start
So-
celebrating that myself. Come on, sisters.
I
All you
know,
guys.
right? Come on,
Let's
give it
work
to
out.
me.
Guess I gotta
So-
get my brother something.
Yes.
You know.
Well, happy Rocky to all of you,
Yes.
and especially my brother Kunal. I love you.
Oh, Kunal.
Okay, so let's talk about Venom.
Yes.
Quick reaction.
Yes.
Quick, like 1 word, 2 word, 1 sentence. What was your overall take of this film?
It reminded me of Rambo a little bit, the American film.
Mm-hmm.
Revenge fantasy film.
Why so? What was it?
Because actually it was based on something that really happened, and almost like Rambo's Vietnam War, something that really happened, and this person takes revenge, basically, kind of fulfills what the nation was feeling, which they could have had that themselves,
Right.
and carries it out. But it's not really for real. I mean, it doesn't really happen. But it's for a film. And Rambo was kind of like that way also. He had revenge on what had been done to him in Vietnam and all this kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So that's my first thoughts.
Okay, interesting.
I really liked it, and going off that, it's interesting because it's a historical fiction that changes history, because most like historical films, when you watch them, are more like they take a real event and just tell somebody else's story. This is more, like the slogan on the poster, the story you wish were true. So that was a very... telling statement, and then if you watch the film, it very much has a clear statement of what they wish went down, and you're like, all right. So I liked it. I mean, it wasn't. If you're on the side of the people they're talking against, then yes, you're probably not as thrilled. But I think it was well told, and without being too fantastical, even though it was like fake history. Yeah. But it's believable. You kind of go, oh, okay.
But I felt morally conflicted. A little bit, because I mean it's almost an eye for an eye story.
That's so funny you mentioned that.
And I was like,
so funny you mentioned that.
Even though they were kind of bad guys, but you doing it to them is still isn't that kind of
which is
yeah.
Go on.
This movie brings all that up. So
it totally does.
I love how they point out. Well, that's what the Americans do. And you're just sitting there going.
I was like,
well, the U.S. does get involved, but you know what's a really interesting point? Because I saw a lot of Saif Ali Khan's interviews, and he goes, it's not an Indian ethical reason to go and avenge whatever's been happened. And it's funny because actually there have been reports where this plan that they had in the movie has been approached to the real prime minister and it's been rejected.
Well, it makes sense, kind of.
Exactly. So
but that doesn't mean it wouldn't happen. Because that's something.
I don't know, because speaking from an actual Indian person myself, like I've never really seen in India really do avenge what has been happened to them in the past.
No, not saying that, but it's more just like that doesn't mean it's impossible.
They should.
Right.
I think they should. Okay, like if that's a whole other issue. But let's first get into because we're going to talk a little bit more about that, especially with Kabir Khan, the director, who takes these risks in Bollywood.
He did New York and all that. So
So we will get to that, but let's just first a little bit talk about the background of it. It was based on 26/11. It's the attacks that happened in 2008. Pretty much Pakistani terror group. A few of them. Like involved with the group, they planned this attack. It was a very planned out, very strategic way of doing it. They hit the most iconic centers in Mumbai, including what you see now is the Taj Hotel, which is so beautiful. And I actually talked to a crime journalist who was involved in reporting on this attack, and he just goes like, it was a 4-day attack, like. It was just, he was waiting for it to be over. Like constant shootings of children and dogs and people, and the ground was just constantly shaking. He was like, it was just he was waiting for it to be done. It was, seeing the dome of the hotel being blown up in flames, it was a very sad occurrence, of course.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So this film, of course, brings upon that pretty much RAW is the agency, right, in India. They go behind the main government's back. They bring upon this ex-soldier named Daniel Khan who tries to avenge pretty much the attacks. Did you guys like the actual story itself, though? Like the way it was built up? Like, what were your opinions on that?
Yes.
Was it slow at any point, or what?
No. Not to me at all.
No, I mean, and it kind
of were pretty much engrossed.
The pacing was pretty good.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see how it felt like they planned it out well, that you go, okay, I could logically follow that. Like, yeah, that could work. And it seems smart to send the one individual, because then if anything bad happens to them, it's just like, well, we just lost one guy.
Yep,
it's no big deal.
That's true.
It's not a team.
Right.
That's true.
And I did talk to some people after the film, and they were comparing it to Baby, and like that film felt a little more like less grounded. This one felt very grounded in reality.
Yes, I agree with you on that.
And you go, this could really happen like this. I could believe how things happened. But they do have that kind of being conflicted mentality, because that's Katrina's perspective.
Okay.
Katrina
Yes.
Kaif.
Oh yeah.
Like
okay.
hers is, she's like not, as she's brought into this world, she's not gung-ho of like, yes, we're gonna do this. She's like, whoa, wait, what are you involving me in?
Right.
I want to know what's going on. And that makes sense. Like, you would be, I don't think you'd necessarily jump into something right away unless you were kind of like, wait, what's going on?
Well, I like that they also showed his backstory to let us know why he decided also to join this kind of movement, because he had his own past with his own, when he was in the army and he left his people behind and they got killed. And
that's what hit Katrina Kaif's character, which is why she joined in.
Yeah. So I kind of like that they showed his back, that it was a dual purpose for him, kind of to redeem himself, rather than the past, but then also help out the country, and it was good.
And also it wasn't like a blind rage revenge thing either. It was very calm and calculated, and yes, eye for an eye, but at the same time it was like, these people have not been punished. We need the revenge for that. So it's almost not quite revenge, because then it's like, well, what do you do when you can't bring those people to justice?
James, are you
can put him in jail. You can put him in jail. I mean, I don't know, or I don't know. I don't know. It was. I mean, I enjoyed it. Obviously, it was fun. But like all revenge fantasies, because like Django Unchained was a revenge fantasy, another American film. I mean, they're all just kind of like, yes, there were some horrible things that happened. These people were horrible. You want to see them get their justice. But I'm just saying, for me, looking at it, I did feel some moral issue with it. Kind of like, well, this is really. I mean, it just kind of breaks down to one person doing wrong, another person does wrong, also to avenge, make it right, I guess. Kind of weird for me, and it was surprising to me that I felt that way.
Well, it's probably good that you thought that way too, because then you're not quite just like a sociopath. It's like, yes, I'm just going to.
I guess that's true. That's true. I'm actually a nice person.
You need to be slightly conflicted, like
yes. I mean, I was enjoying it when I was watching it, and the methodical way they did show the plans was very fun. But again, the pacing
especially
was good.
when they were killing David Coleman Headley, who's actually was the man involved.
Yes, that
he's
whole
actually
scene.
It's very interesting because he has an American mother and a Pakistani father. He looks very, very white.
Yes,
and he was one of the lead planners. And the way Saif Ali Khan's character killed him,
I know,
very
ingenious,
it's
very
so
ingenious. Well, even that way, the first death too of Mir, the first death when he got in the whole. Because I was thinking, because here's the thing about the movie that was really interesting. There were certain scenes that would happen at first, and I was like, I don't understand that. Like the opening scene with the chase.
Yes,
but then they explain it later, so I was like, thank you, they explained it. But at first I was like,
it was a little confusing.
I thought that was the weirdest thing. Yeah, just so you know, the movie opens up and you're like, I don't understand what's going on. Stick with it.
And they don't find it, and then I'm like, oh, okay, now I get. They explain it all later. Together. But his death too was just kind of funny, where it was like he lit a cigarette, he did all this. They went back and explained.
Oh, that one I kind of saw coming.
I was like, I wasn't sure what was going on. Yeah, but it was good.
I always love the flash. I always love the flashback, flash forward style that Bollywood usually does a lot.
Oh, yes, they do.
And the cinematography I thought was also great too. I actually like a lot of the slow motion.
Yes.
There was one scene where it's really minor, but it's still stuck in my head when the toilet was flushing.
Oh yeah.
And it was like a very slow motion effect.
Yes.
From a bird's eye view. With the bat. Yeah, that's damn cool. I really like that.
But see, it stood out enough. I'm like, oh yeah,
it stood out. Yeah, exactly. You remember
better.
I like that.
Yeah, the fight scenes, everything.
Visually, it was great.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do actually want to just touch upon what happened also like around the news that surrounds us as well before we get even more talking about it. I also forgot to mention that this is based on a book.
Oh yes.
Called Mumbai's Avengers, and actually Kabir Khan himself coordinated with the author Hussein Zaidi when he was writing the screenplay. So I thought that was nice that they both. Yeah, because usually that doesn't happen.
No, it
the
doesn't.
author gets so offended by what the director does.
A lot of times just the name.
Like, whoa,
the film's just the name, the book is something different. Yeah.
So that was very nice.
Yeah, I noticed that at the beginning of the movie. They're like, based on this book. I'm like, oh, whoa.
Me too. I know either.
I was like, oh, cool. So let's talk about the news, pretty much. It was
somebody's pissed.
Yes, the name Hafiz Saeed, which actually, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. This is because I'm brown. Doesn't mean I know how to pronounce these names, people, okay? But Hafiz
Saeed. John.
John. He was mentioned in the film as Hariz Saeed. They just changed one letter. So he pretty much banned this in the High Court in Lahore, even before the censor board could ban it himself. Because, he just thought that this was going to be bad rep for him, for Pakistan, and after all, he was involved with the attacks. He's a free man walking in Pakistan.
Yes, he is.
It's just sad that, they never got the justice of India, but whatever. I can't talk to that. It's funny, though, because the actor who plays him is actually under high security.
Oh, is he really? I didn't read that. Oh, how funny.
They're keeping him really, like literally before the film was released, when they were done, he went underground.
Well, I think so, because he looks like him, or at least is made to look like him in the movie, so I'd be thinking he could be in danger.
he could be in danger from Pakistan. Who knows?
Sure.
But it was just interesting that
is
the
You
risk you
portrayed this
take
person?
to
a
make
role.
this film
For your craft.
for a role,
Yes.
for a craft.
So
And I saw something just briefly. It's kind of in the news. Is that Doctors Without Borders?
yes, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah,
they're
that
feeling
was interesting.
they're going to go after them, saying that it's endangering their staff, the real staff that's on some of these places.
So they pretty much in the movie, before giving away too
Yeah.
many spoilers, they show a clinic of saving the survivors of the attack.
Yeah.
So Doctors Without Borders is taking legal action because they thought it misrepresented.
Yeah, there's guns in the movie. Somebody would build a
it's
gun.
Not even just that. It's more just that they're able to use a thing to heal people to cause damage.
Yes, that
That would look bad
Right.
for your business of like,
Right.
here, we're here to heal people. Wait, just kidding. We're going to come and kill you.
right.
Sort of thing.
Right.
Well, yeah, they just thought
Yeah.
that the clinic wasn't being neutral in the movie.
Exactly.
Which
Sure.
is interesting.
But you know what, though? I would argue it is more just the one character who
Right.
worked at the clinic. It's not
It's
necessarily the
Katrina's
clinic.
character. She
it's
actually
her
said
character.
a quote saying NGO workers have ties with local groups. I said that right.
Fanatical. Sure.
I said fanatical. I
Yeah,
don't have
I heard it.
pronunciation
Yeah,
issues.
Pronunciation.
I'm not a
Your
yeah.
syllable.
So I think that's what kind of like
Yeah.
took them off guard because
Sure.
that's not showing. That's showing a bias, right? If that's what her statement means, if I'm not correct.
Well, I think, at least with her character, they show that she considers both sides and talks about it. It's not like it's one way or the other. It takes her a while to come to a decision.
Right.
So it's not, I don't know. And I'd say it's just her at the clinic. It's not even like all the other workers.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just her.
Well, here's what's funny.
There's
I
a-
didn't really care for her character until
Oh, I like that.
until towards the end.
Actually, I agree with you.
Sure.
I thought
I
she
totally
was
agree with you.
any.
Oh, the very beginning, you're like,
Yeah, exactly right. It's like
Yeah.
any Indian girl
Yeah.
actress throw her in, and
Yeah.
her hair's in the way, and it's like, okay, she wasn't really.
Yeah.
I wasn't really buying her at
sure,
first.
sure.
But then towards the end of the film, so I give away 2A spoilers, but she really showed some depth in some of the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one where with. Well, she called her auntie, of course, but she wasn't the auntie. She was one of the aunts at the works for the doctor.
Yeah.
She was a good actress.
Oh, that actress!
Oh, yeah,
that
she was
actress!
good.
That scene, which we won't tell you, when you see this movie, I
Oh, her, yeah.
had tears in my eyes.
But it shows
Yeah.
Pakistanis and Indians working together,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
but I had tears. I did not expect
No,
that,
her-
and I had tears in my eyes.
Her stance, like her
Yes.
statement that she makes at one point, which we'll not say when.
Yeah.
No, we
I
can't.
liked it.
She's
Well,
just
she didn't-
saying
she didn't
she's
run out.
doing whatever she is for Pakistan.
Right.
For
And
her
I thought that was a
country.
really excellent way to phrase it.
That
Yes.
scene was
Because they're
very
like, why
powerful.
are you doing this? I'm doing it for
Pakistan.
And you're like,
and she
It was
controlled her
good. That was a
destiny.
good way to make a point without being like, you know.
I like that.
Yeah,
was
me
smart.
too.
It was
But
smart.
my eyes were like welling up at that
A
scene.
lot of
so.
reviewers did not like the way Saif and Katrina acted. And
Like,
okay, to be honest,
together?
I'm not just individually. I'm not a Katrina fan at all. But just because I think she is just a pretty face who I don't really see a depth to her
Okay,
acting or connection.
okay.
But in this film, I could tell she was very connected with the script.
I
I
get
could
it.
tell she was very
Yeah.
connected because I've seen countless interviews with her just praising Kabir Khan.
Oh, wow.
She just
okay.
loves him, and they get along so
Okay,
well. And I
okay.
could tell in
Maybe-
this film,
Okay.
like I could tell she was trying.
Yeah.
She really was trying to, and also she loved the action scenes. Like she was the one who wanted to hold the gun.
Oh,
Yeah.
She liked the way that Kabir portrayed her. Now we're kind of getting into not Kabir Khan.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
directing.
Well, maybe it was his directing that really helped bring it out of her.
Yeah, she
Maybe,
just
yeah.
says that he's the one director who actually listens to me, who listens to my suggestions. And the way that he showed me and Saif together,
Yeah.
it wasn't just showing the heroic man doing the
Yeah,
scenes.
yeah.
It was showing a realistic way that, no, the woman who, after all, is an ex-agent,
Yes.
she's supposed to be showing a realistic way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is shown in the action.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she's in the
holding a
action. Oh,
gun.
she is. Oh, she's
She
in
does
it.
stuff
That
too.
part, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
That part I liked. She doesn't look like a wimp doing it,
No.
or
No,
a
she
typical
didn't.
damsel
No,
in
she didn't.
distress.
She didn't.
No.
She's not.
She's very
even though
tall
she
next
looks
to him.
gorgeous.
No.
Oh my god, he's so short. Like literally all the good actors like Amir Khan, Shah Rukh
No,
Khan,
it's
they're all
fine.
short.
So good looking.
But
I love him.
Saif looked good in this movie,
He
I
looked
thought.
great in this
Yeah.
movie because he has very
Really
different
good.
looks.
Yes.
His looks change all the time. I've seen him with short hair,
Yeah.
clean shaven, long hair, I mean
Yeah.
everything. It's crazy.
I know.
So, but he looked in this.
I
so.
thought they were fine per their characters.
Yeah.
Per what it was in the film, it was good.
I thought he did a
Yeah.
great job. I'm sorry. I thought he carried it. He gave the emotion right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, with her, it wasn't until towards the maybe last 10,
It was
15
towards the end,
minutes
yeah.
that I was like, oh, no, I feel for her. And
Yeah.
the last scene when she's
Yeah.
walking on the boat, I was on the ship. I was like, yeah. This-
Well,
I
I
love
want
it.
to
It was
just
good.
quickly touch upon Kabir. Just the last
Yes.
point
Sure.
about him is that, yes, he's made films like Ek Tha Tiger
Yes.
and New York.
Yeah.
Yes.
The latest one, Bajrangi
Yes.
Bejam. And actually, I mean, you know a little bit about his history.
He started
right?
out doing documentary things for Discovery Channel.
Can you believe it? Like, he's an actual journalist himself, documentary
and a cinematographer.
maker.
That's why he looked so
Then
good.
it
Probably.
worked.
And
Right.
he worked in conflict war zones.
Yes.
So even Katrina was saying, like, he's the one to know about what actually happens.
Yeah.
He's not a propaganda director.
No,
where
not at
he's
all.
biased against one.
No.
So people who are hating on him and the movie saying it's anti-Pakistan,
Yeah.
it's not. Because we're showing that India is doing just the same as Pakistan did.
Yeah.
It's anti-terrorism.
That's what
Yes.
it is.
That's their point
what
that they're
it is,
trying to
right.
make.
That's
Exactly.
what it is.
You know?
Yep.
It
Again,
just so
both
happens,
are, but it
yeah.
showed us the sadness, basically, of the whole situation.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's exactly just
It's
the
like,
disparity and the
no one
destruction.
wins.
Or even
in this
the-
movie, nobody really
Nobody
won.
really, yeah.
And
Think
it's-
about it.
It's also
Nobody
that
won.
idea of even if you're not doing something bad, if you're connected with those people, bad things can happen to you because there's some people that
Yes.
stuff happens to them,
Yeah.
and I felt really bad for them.
Me too.
But that's how it happens, though,
Yeah.
too. Of like just because you weren't directly involved,
That's
you
right.
can still be affected.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. It's more like terrorism is the bad guy, not necessarily
Yes.
one side
Not
or the
one
other.
person or one
Yeah. I
country.
agree.
It's just terrorism itself.
Yeah.
Very true.
agree.
So we do have to kind of rush a little bit, but
Quick.
This movie's
filming.
so good.
Yes.
The filming. It was filmed in Lebanon, actually,
very
when they
good.
were showing the Syria
Yeah, so I read
refugees.
somewhere,
And
yeah.
actually, it's so funny because when they were shooting in Lebanon, people actually started getting worried. It actually looked like an actual militia camp was being set up.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh,
the helicopters
wow.
were surrounding the area, so they had to kind of clear it out.
Oh,
like,
how
no, no,
funny.
we're just filming.
film was like film
Because
crew.
it looked so real
Yeah.
to them.
Well,
And
it did
plus-
look real.
That's cool. That's
and
good.
Lebanon was kind of under like
You got some stuff too.
It looked
shaky
good.
situations.
Yeah, no, the quality of how they filmed it looked.
I agree.
And
Believe
also,
it.
when they were supposed to be shooting in Pakistan, they
Yeah.
actually chose a small town in Punjab,
oh,
which is
okay.
kind of like where I'm also a little bit from. And it looked,
Oh,
it had
okay.
Urdu writing, which is why it could come
Got
across
it.
as Pakistan. So that was also
Yeah.
shot there. Then they shot it in Mumbai, London, and Canada.
I heard Vancouver, right?
So, oh, and also Vancouver. You're
Yeah.
right.
Canada,
You're right.
Vancouver. Yeah, so I read.
Oh well, yeah, Canada.
Everything-
yeah, no, I'm saying in Vancouver. I heard. Yes.
Well, more specifically.
Yeah.
And then I don't really have like the weekend box office, but I do know that on Saturday it went up 51%.
I saw that. Yeah.
From Friday.
I saw it Saturday.
Roughly making,
Saw
I think,
Friday.
3 million,
Yeah.
which is like
Yeah.
12 crores. So good for them. I mean, I obviously wish it more success.
I'm gonna say, and when I went and saw it in Culver City at the Howard Hughes area at Cinemark, and it was actually there were about maybe I counted about 50 of us
Wow.
for a 1:15 show,
Oh wow.
and it was all Indians and me.
Yay.
They looked at me like, "Oh my god, it's me."
It's
Oh, no,
so
I
funny.
love
When I
that.
watched
I
it in the
love-
theater,
yeah.
there was like Americans there though. I was like,
Yeah,
oh my god,
I
love
did
this.
speak with some people after the film, this
There were
white
so
couple,
many.
and they were
Yeah.
both like, I really liked it. The wife was just like, I don't care, regardless of being like Hindi or American movie, she's like, it was just a really good movie. So I would say that about this film too.
It was.
doesn't matter,
Yeah, I agree.
where you're from.
I know.
It's just a good
I
film,
agree.
and it leads you into. So if you were totally clueless on what went down, it kind of still explains what
it does.
happened.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a good film to open your eyes up to, and I don't know, just
makes you
realize
think.
that it does make you think, and it's
Conversation
great that it's
starter.
based on
Yes.
history, and and especially for people from India and
Yeah.
from Pakistan, just open up your perspective. It's, just, it's good that sense.
I
Now,
agree.
before we wrap up, I know that we had some people who wanted to call in and listen or ask questions. If there's anyone. Jonathan, no one? Okay, well, thanks. Thanks, guys. Or
Okay,
sorry.
yes.
I know we
Thanks for
said that.
thinking about it.
We said that we start at 6, so that probably just
It could
got
be.
them
It could
off
be that
guard.
too. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, let's end with the song of the week, which is from the movie Phantom.
Yeah, this is a good song.
We'll watch it, then I'll explain about it a little after.
when are they gonna have a wedding scene? I was like, okay, song's coming.
Yes,
I was
of
waiting for a
course.
song. I was waiting for a song.
I know about that. No,
The song's good.
I like how Katrina's not really dancing; she's just looking glam, which is good. There's no like item girl song, right? It's a good beat.
okay, yeah. Sorry, I was like, wait, this is the wedding song.
Yeah,
But it's
exactly.
redone.
That's what we're saying. They didn't do it. They didn't use it.
It's
Yeah.
a different promotional piece. I think.
Yeah. No, but I like it when films kind of
This
do
was
that.
sung by a Pakistani singer,
Oh, okay.
but an Indian did musically direct it. He just wanted a Pakistani
Oh,
singer.
fun.
It
Very
was
cool.
sung in not only Hindi but Persian and Urdu. So you can get a lot of that Afghani vibe from it
Okay,
because it's called
okay.
Afghani jalebi. I don't know why they chose Afghan because
Yeah.
Afghanistan has nothing to do with anything, but I thought it was a good song. And
Yeah, I think it's a good song.
Look
It's a
that
great
up
song.
and enjoy
fun.
yourself.
Yeah.
Well, that was that.
But that was that.
Any last thoughts on Phantom or just Bollywood itself, guys?
I think I like seeing diversity in Bollywood, and I think this was a really cool film to make you think.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Saif's performance in it. I thought he did a great job carrying the film.
Yeah, I just overall thought it was a good film to watch. It's realistic. It's not the, if you don't like that cheesy over-the-top violence, it's not. It's very real.
Yep.
And just know that it feels very real. Don't go into it and then go, oh, yeah, it's going to be fluff.
Yeah, don't expect fluff or
fluff.
dance numbers in this movie.
No.
Kabir Khan's not that type of director.
No, because New York, same way. There was no dance numbers.
Yeah.
But expect a very intelligent film, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
And there were a little bit of some Bollywood quirks in there, too. They had some humor.
Yeah. They tried to.
Indian humor.
Yeah. I'm thinking of two people right now.
Especially that young boy in the Raw group.
Just going to say that, yes.
The actors are not all well known, and I like that because they were very talented. So do go for that as well.
Yeah.
That there's a good cast besides Saif and Katrina.
Yes, I agree.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, make sure to follow Popcorn Talk on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. iTunes. You always correct me on that.
No, iTunes
for the audio listeners.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, BollyWHAT is on Facebook.
Yes.
So comment on there, and I really do want you guys to be more involved. So I know this was kind of last minute this week, but let me know on YouTube or the Facebook page to just, if you want to call in or comment or, while we're taping, let me know. Follow me on Twitter at Kanika Lal, Instagram at You Can Have It Lal, and again, BollyWHAT Facebook page.
James Lott Jr. on Twitter, Black Hope LA. I was going to say James Jr. on Twitter. Black Hope LA on Twitter, James Lott Jr. on Facebook, and I'm also the super organizer, universe.com, my blog.
Thank you for having me. You can follow me on Twitter at Kari, K-A-R-I-D Lane. And same thing on Instagram, and my Facebook is Kari Lane Actor.
And also check out her podcast on
go to Mira Sangeet LA. Actually, that's on Facebook, and my show's on Saturdays at 10, 1, 4, and 9.
Ooh,
perfect.
Very good. Yes.
Alrighty, guys. See you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network. We would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
Expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.